people that I would like to bring up here with me. The lovely and talented Melanie Lynskey. The rugged and handsome Ben Schwartz. The armed and dangerous Jason Ritter. My life partner, Natasha, Lyonne. My knight in shining armor, Sarah Quinn. And my partner in crime, Polly Morgan, our DP. Sarah is our composer. Polly left. She was like, oh, Vincent! Vincent, my real Prince Charming, Vincent Piazza. He wasn't in the car with us, I never saw. Sorry. And our producers, Sebo Hanian, Mel Eslin, Paul Vernon, and Sam Slater, and David Vernon. Sorry about this. And we have a lot of amazing crew here as well, which I think Newman, and Drew, and Wes, and Andrew, and who else is here? Oh, Darby and Elle. That's what I wanted the list from. Okay, yeah.
So we're going to start with the Q&A. I'm going to ask the first question. Any point you have a question, just raise your hand and we'll call on you. And I'm going to take the obvious question, which is, we've loved and admired your acting work for so long. What made you choose to make the jump to directing?
Well, I've been an actor for 20 years, and I wanted to be a writer before I even wanted to be an actor, and I started writing about 10 years ago, and then wrote this script, and this was the first script that I really wanted to try to get produced, but I wanted someone else to direct it, because I was nervous about acting and directing at the same time, and then the more I reached out to people, the more it became apparent that apparent to me that I was the only person that I really wanted to tell the story, and it really is just coming from a place of really loving the process of filmmaking and loving being on sets and working with crews and working with actors, and I really just wanted to have a bigger piece of the puzzle, because the more I do this, the less I become interested in just my part. I want to be a part of all of it.
No? Well, I'll ask another question. Let's see. No. Oh, yes, please.
Okay, I'll be loud. This is a question for Clea and her cinematographer. I thought with a movie like this, there's rarely a really set aesthetic, but I noticed one with this movie. So I was wondering if you could talk about maybe the choice of having a lot of headroom and the color blue, and just kind of your process of picking the visual style.
So this is a question about choosing the aesthetic style and the use of the color blue in the movie.
Polly, what about you?
Me and Clea just had a lot of conversations early on about sort of her inspirations for the film, which was movies from the 80s, especially a film called The Big Chill. And we just talked about, how we would sort of make it feel a bit more contemporary and just make it have a nice, fresh feeling and a new approach. So that was the main reason why we chose to sort of compose it in a slightly unique way. I'm not sure about the colour blue though, so I'll just pass that back to you.
I think it was something that sort of happened organically as we, it really was kind of an accident in terms of all the wardrobe and stuff. It was, to be totally honest with you, it was a really hectic schedule, and getting 8 people all in the same place at the same time was challenging, and I feel like because so many of us are friends and we are really close and we were wearing a lot of our own clothes, and I think, I don't know, when you're kind of with the people, like your people, you all have weirdly a uniform, and your friendship uniform, and I do. But I mean, it absolutely was for like Melanie and Jason's characters. Like I wanted them to be like the male-female versions of each other. How you kind of turn into the person that you are in a relationship with, and I think that can also happen in the way with like your friends. I know that Melanie and I, that happened to us the other day, wearing identical clothes.
Yes, please.
Beautiful film, thank you. Leanne, I noticed that there were a couple of characters in the film that were reading in the book, the same book, The Pilot and the Twig. Does that book have any special significance to you or the story? What is it?
The Pilot and the Twig is actually a fake book. That is, the Pilot and Twig are my cats. And the author of the book is Mia Weir, who is my very patient and lovely partner who is in the crowd there.
But also it was a bestseller that year. So everyone was just reading it.
Yes, please.
Did I what?
Did you take part in a real-life intervention ever?
I did, yeah. It was unsuccessful.
Oh, yes, please.
First of all, I just want to say great film, big fan.
Oh.
And I thought the music was exceptional. I was Clea, but anyone can answer, but I'm wondering in terms of choosing music, I mean, I know you had to create a whole language with Sarah to create music, but I'm just wondering what that language was and how you, I don't know, how you pick those moments, how do you pick a score, how do you pick music, or how do you make a film feel the way you want it to feel with music?
So it's a question about choosing the music in the film?
Tegan, hello, big fan. Oh, excuse me, sorry, Clea.
No, Sarah, I think.
Actually, I just wanted to say that I thought I didn't really have anything to do with any of the source music that was used in the film, and I heard some of it as you guys were editing and placing stuff, and I thought you did a really amazing job. And I know you had
With Rob Lowry, who's
with
our
Rob,
music
I know,
supervisor,
sorry,
who's
Rob.
also here.
But you did have such a vision about having female voices in the film and using women, and I thought that was really amazing. I love the music that you chose. Thank you for giving me a job.
But you, I really wanted to work with Sarah because she's my very good friend, and I wanted to have her to come, like, make her come to stuff like this with me, and I knew there was no other way to get her here. But I like, because this was my first time doing this, I like the idea of having someone else whose first time it was also, but the bad news was kind of that both of us didn't know what we were doing. So it was really a really fun and humbling and challenging process of figuring, especially since I don't know appreciate music so much, but I know nothing about it. And being able to do that with a friend who was so kind and so patient, even though she probably wanted to punch me in the face sometimes when I was like, what's that sound? What's that high sound?
Just for the Criterion edition, Clea does not like xylophone.
But it didn't stop you from putting it in all over the time.
Just over and over.
Yes, please.
First of all, congratulations. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you.
Beautiful story, so directed, fantastic cast.
Yes.
And my question is, given that a lot of these people are your friends, did you workshop with them over the years? Did you rehearse while you were there? What was that process like?
This is a question about workshopping and rehearsing, since so much of the cast is Clea's friends.
The director's trying to make me answer a question that's clearly for her, so...
No, I mean, I think you were there too. Melanie and Natasha are my oldest friends, and Melanie was really my muse for this movie and this character, and she had read every draft of the script, and I would get notes from her, and we would talk about it, and later in the process, closer to when we were going to film, Melanie and I actually sat down and went through the entire script and took things out, moved things around, and just really, I really gave the character over to her because it was inspired by her, and I knew that whatever she was going to do with it was so much better than anything I could ever imagine. And then with Natasha, you were there. Do you want to say anything about it?
I don't really remember a ton of us workshopping this movie, but I do remember like 1998 at your little house in Topanga, and I just remember we were like, hey, how come actors can't spend more time like the way musicians can go in the other room and jam? And so we decided to do dramatic readings to each other from Anne Heche's Call Me Crazy. And I feel like that was essentially us workshopping to where we are now, so congratulations.
The story was mainly inspired by that.
Yeah.
Mainly inspired by that.
Yeah,
But
a great book.
We did, I mean, I think, you know, with something like this where we wanted to keep it really fresh and we didn't want it to feel rehearsed and we wanted it to be really organic, like it was really just a lot of conversations about the characters and the relationships and the histories. And, you know, fortunately, like for Melanie, who's playing my best friend, and Natasha, who's playing my girlfriend, like we have so much history together, but it you know, like you kind of rerouting it into like another story, but like still pulling on like the intimacy and that closeness. And
We have time for just one more question. Oh, is there one on the way back?
Yeah, I have a question about, referring back to Big Chill, I feel the same way about your film, which is the house is another character.
yeah.
How and where did you find somebody now?
It was a place that I had been on a trip in Savannah once before and happened to go by that house, or go to that house, and it was so beautiful, and I kind of wrote it with that in mind, and I really, you know, like you said, that's exactly what we wanted for the house to feel like a character, and it was the only place I could think of that really could do that, and luckily we were able to get it. I don't know how, but we really lucked out. Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have, but thank you to the entire cast.